Hello everyone, I'm going to read chapter 13 of our chapter book, George's Marvellous Medicine by Roald Dahl. This chapter is called Marvellous Medicine number 3. Here it is, cried Mr. Killiecrankie, rushing into the kitchen. 1 carton of flea powder for dogs and 1 tin of brown shoe polish. George poured the flea powder into the giant saucepan. Then he scooped the shoe polish out of the tin and added that as well. "Stir it up, George," shouted Mr. Cranky. "Give it another boil. We've got it this time. I bet we've got it." After Marvellous Medicine number 3 had been boiled and stirred, George took a cupful of it out into the yard to try on another chicken. Mr. Cranky ran after him, flapping his arms and hopping with excitement. "Come and watch this one," he called out to Mrs. Cranky. "Come and watch us turning an ordinary chicken into a lovely great big one that lays eggs as large as footballs." "I hope you do better than last time," said Mrs. Cranky, following them out. "Come on, chicken," George said, holding out a spoonful of medicine number 3. "Good chicken. Chick, 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 chick. Have some of this lovely medicine." A magnificent black cockerel with a scarlet comb came stepping over. The cockerel looked at the spoon and it went peck. "Cock-a-doodle-doo!" squawked the cockerel, shooting up into the air and coming down again. "Watch him now," cried Mr. Cranky. "Watch him grow. Any moment he's going to start getting bigger and bigger." Mr. Killiecrankie, Mrs. Cranky and little George stood in the yard, staring at the black cockerel. The cockerel stood quite still. It looked as though it had a headache. "What's happening to its neck?" Mrs. Cranky said. "It's getting longer," George said. "I'll say it's getting longer," Mrs. Cranky said. Mr. Cranky, for once, said nothing. "Last time it was the legs," Mrs. Cranky said. "Now it's the neck. Who wants a chicken with a long neck? You can't eat a chicken's neck." It was an extraordinary sight. The cockerel's body hadn't grown at all, but the neck was now about 6 feet long. Here it is, growing, growing, and it's huge, with a great big neck. "All right, George," Mr. Cranky said. "What else have you forgotten?" "I don't know," George said. "Oh, yes, you do," Mr. Cranky said. "Come along, boy. Think. There's probably just one vital thing missing and you've got to remember it." "Oh, I put in some engine oil from the garage," George said. "Did you have that on your list?" "Eureka!" cried Mr. Cranky. "That's the answer. How much did you put in?" "Half a pint," George said. Mr. Cranky ran to the garage and found another half pint of oil. "And some antifreeze," George called after him. "I sloshed in a bit of antifreeze." That's the end of that chapter. I wonder what's going to happen next time. Night night.